If you've ever stepped into a Caribbean barbershop or auntie's living room, you've probably seen him. Crown, robe, regal beard. Looking like he's judging your shape up? That's Haile Selassie I, the Emperor of Ethiopia from 1930 to 1974. But his full title, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. He could trace his lineage all the way back to King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, a royal bloodline stretching back thousands of years. This wasn't just any king. This was biblical royalty, walking, talking, and ruling. When Selassie was crowned in 1930, the world showed up. British officials, global press. For many in the Caribbean and America, seeing a black man crowned in Africa by his own people was revolutionary. Haile Selassie wasn't just dressing regal, he modernized Ethiopia. He built schools, banned slavery, and brought his nation onto the world stage. And when fascist Italy invaded Ethiopia in 1935, Selassie didn't hide. He stood before the League of Nations and told them straight, "It is us today, it will be you tomorrow." Spoiler alert, he was right. Ethiopia had something no other African country could claim. It was never fully colonized. That made it a symbol of black strength, freedom, and what could be ours again. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Some people say Marcus Garvey predicted it all with this line, "Look to Africa for the crowning of a black king." Sounds powerful, right? But the truth is, we can't actually prove Garvey ever said it.
Well, someone definitely said it. We just can't find them. Moving on.
Still, the idea caught fire, and one Jamaican man took it all the way to the mountaintop. His name was Leonard Howell, preacher, rebel, fire starter. When Selassie was crowned in 1930, Howell said, "That's not just a king, that's Jah, come back to earth." Why? Selassie's titles matched biblical prophecy. The Lion of Judah, ruler from Mount Zion, Revelation, Psalms, all lining up.
He's matching scripture, page for page. This is not good.
Howell wasn't just talking, he was preaching resistance, black liberation, spiritual independence. And so, Rastafari began. They called it Rastafari, taken from His Majesty's name before he was crowned. Ras, meaning prince or head, and Tafari, his birth name. So when they said Jah Rastafari, they meant the Prince Tafari is God. But it was more than a name. It was a whole way of living. It meant rejecting Babylon, and not just governments, but anything that oppressed the mind and spirit. It meant saying no to materialism, to lies, to the system that tried to keep black people under. Rastas don't just understand, they seek to overstand, to rise above, to seek truth for themselves. It was about awakening, reconnecting with African identity, and stepping into higher consciousness. At first, Rastas were seen as outcasts, arrested, mocked, disrespected. But the fire kept spreading, hills to towns, ghetto to ghetto. Then came the music, Nyabingi drums, chants, and later, reggae. By the time Bob Marley stepped to the mic, the whole world was listening. And through the rhythm, the message travelled to London, New York, Lagos, Trenchtown. Jah lives, Babylon must fall. Rasta became a global culture, born in Jamaica, rooted in Ethiopia, embraced by the world. The dreadlocks weren't just fashion. Early Rastas took inspiration from Nazarites in the Bible, holy people who never cut their hair. The dreads were a statement, natural, sacred, unapologetic, a crown of their own. And here's the best part. In 1966, the Jamaican government invited Selassie for a state visit. Their goal? Calm down the Rastas. Too loud, too rebellious. But when the plane landed, thousands of Rastas flooded the airport. Some say lightning flashed, some say the ground shook. And when His Majesty stepped off the plane...
Wait, why are they chanting God has landed? This was not the plan.
Instead of settling things down, the visit lit the flame. They came for order. What they got was revelation. So today, Haile Selassie's face is still on the wall. And not just because he was a king, but because of what he represented. A symbol of African power, pride, and possibility. A reminder that black kings weren't just in fairy tales. They were real and ours.